Hello everyone and Happy New Year. This is Debbie Siriani and I'm the Director of Human Services at the Chelmsford Senior Center. I'm also co-chair of the Age Friendly Committee in town with Fred Brousseau. And I'm here with co-host Lisa Marrone, who's also on the Age Friendly Committee and is the Business Development Director in town. And we have two special guests today. We have two of our staff members from the Senior Center, and we have April Hunt, who's the Elder Support Services Coordinator and heads the companion program, along with all kinds of other senior programs. And Debbie Barry, who is actually a staff person in our Social Day program, runs the activities in there, but is going to be talking about her role as a co-facilitator of the Buried in Treasures support workshops today. So let's get going, and we'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing in Chelmsford to make our lives better for folks who are 60 and up and all ages.
Well, Debbie, thank you so much. Happy New Year to you as well. We've been working together for 5 years now.
Oh my gosh.
And right from the beginning, it's been the Age Friendly program, and we've done an awful lot of work. And now we're doing our monthly TV show to start sharing more publicly about everything we've been doing, and very important work and programs and things you've been doing for years and years. So I really appreciate the interest to bring on your colleagues from the Senior Center to promote and advocate what's available for seniors, for them to age in place. And so I had a couple of questions and wanted to talk a little bit more, but if, April, if you could just explain a bit more about what is the companion care program, sure. And if you could just explain a little bit more in detail about it.
Sure. The companion program it has kind of like two prongs. It's a respite for the family caregivers. A lot of parents are now living with their children, and the children need time to go out and do their errands or to socialize with their friends. So a companion will come in and give the caregiver a couple of hours of respite so they can go do their things, and the companion will either play games, do puzzles, take a walk around the neighborhood, maybe make cookies or fix a light lunch for them. And that way the family member can feel secure that their loved one is in a safe environment. Should anything happen, the companion can call, first responders. But for the most part, they're there just to give socialization, which studies show are great for seniors. Keeps the mind, going, and the other part is if a senior is living alone by themselves and it's not a respite situation, it's for strictly socialization. The companion will come over to any senior who is sometimes they're just lonely and they just want to talk to someone, or they feel better that someone's checking in on them a couple of times a week. Most of my companions will do a visit to a client once or twice a week for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I think through COVID, we all learned how difficult it is to have the isolation.
Yes.
And it's very, it's very troubling to be all alone for days on end. And I like that the program, as you explained it, two prongs, because the respite helps to give the caregivers a break so that they can rejuvenate and know that there's others available as a backup or as a secondary support. But the companion program is equally important for that social engagement and the mental health.
Exactly. Just
to play checkers or talk about
sometimes current
the
events.
Weather, things like that. It's just so important. And I think we all understand that a bit more now since COVID, when we all had to be isolated in our familiar environments of home or wherever.
Excellent point, yes.
But gosh,
and it gives them something to look forward to, knowing that a companion's coming, that even if they don't have anything planned, they can go take a nap or walk around the neighborhood themselves.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And same regard for the caregiver that knows there's someone coming to help give me some relief that I can trust, that it's, the consistency continues of the loved one is in their environment and they're comfortable, and someone's just coming to have light conversation and interaction for an hour or two or whichever. And I just think it's just such an important program, and I'm just so happy that it's available in Chelmsford as we start working real hard on the age-friendly program and our tagline, livable for all ages, and helping people to age in place and stay in the town that they love and that they,
And in their homes, exactly,
yes.
yeah.
And we recognize how very difficult it is to be a companion, a family caregiver, and how stressful that can be for the loved one and the family member. I mean, it can be hard, being on top of each other no matter who you are, and never really get a break from each other.
Right.
So sometimes it's really a great respite for both.
Yeah.
Both the member and the
Right. The caregiver has to take care of themselves in order to take care of their loved one.
Yes, so
So,
true.
April, can you tell me a little bit, tell the folks a little bit about why it's different than other home services that are available?
Okay. Our program is socially a social model, not a medical model. We don't do any hygiene or dressing or feeding. We're strictly there just for socialization and to provide a safe environment. It's more for the stimulation for the loved one, and just for some one-on-one attention that sometimes, when family members come home, they're getting dinner done, they're doing laundry, and their loved one might be saying, "Oh, how'd your day go?" "Good, that's good, Mom, but I got to get this done." Our companions give strictly one-on-one attention to that, to our clients for at least a minimum of 2 hours per visit, and I think that's just
And it's up
what
to,
a lot of
40 hours a week some folks even have, though, right? I mean, some people are having someone come in every day.
Yes, if
For
we have
many
the
hours,
companions,
if you have
Many of our
availability.
companions are retired themselves. They don't want to work that much, so it might be spread out through a few different companions. But some of them, they need a lot, just a lot of visiting. But that's where we differ from other, like visiting, other agencies where they might help more with, hygiene
or visiting
exactly.
nurse,
We're strictly social.
Yeah.
And we often refer to those other agencies after this program becomes maybe not enough service.
Right. Or
So
we're in tandem. Sometimes they're there in the
yeah.
morning and then our companion comes in for the socialization, so yes. Or my companion may say, "I think this client, they're ready for the next level," which then would be, a home health aide coming in.
Debbie, I think you also partner with the Social Day program. We hadn't talked about talking
Yes.
about this, but also some of the people who are in the companion program also come to the Social Day program at the senior center, right? And kind of
We have both.
mix and match.
We have the clients as well as the companions. They also volunteer in our program, as well as some of the clients both have home companion care and they come to our Social Day program. So it is, they kind of work together a little bit.
Yes.
A lot of options to accommodate whatever
Yep.
each
Right.
family or loved one may need, which is really important because it's similar but different. And
Right.
so that's great.
Yeah,
And
we have some clients who do both, the companion program and the day program, so they get, sometimes we come to them and sometimes they come to us.
And for that reason, because we're not doing a medical model, and because it's underwritten by the town as a town department, the cost of it is much less
Yes, it
than
is.
another home program per hour.
Right.
So it's much more manageable for folks to mix and match with what they need and still have an affordable option.
Right.
Now, what if people can't afford even the hourly schedule that we have?
We suggest that they call Age Span. We have a lot of clients who are, the cost is covered through Age Span, which used to be the Elder Services of the Merrimack Valley. If they meet certain income requirements, age band sometimes will cover 1 visit per week or 2 visits per week.
Right, we have a contract with Age Span, and so we provide the services, and then we report them to Age Span, and they approve it, and they'll reimburse us for those costs.
Yeah.
So that's how we work it. But it's much more manageable financially for folks.
It is.
So how do you become a companion for someone? What is that process? Do you-
That's, yeah, they'll start, we have an application, they come in, I like to meet them in person, have them fill out the application, talk to them for a little bit. Most of my companions are either retired nurses or home caregivers themselves, so I get a little bit of background, and then we obviously check their job references. We do a Corey check. Debbie does the Corey check, the background check, and if all that's good to go, then we do training with me, and I go over scenarios of, if the client isn't home when they get there, or if they think that there might be something that if the client falls down, or they think they might be having a stroke, the steps to go through right off the bat. Flat across the board, always call 911 first.
Yeah.
That's
So you're doing a lot more than just scheduling.
oh yeah.
You're really involved in every step of the process.
Yes.
As a representative of the town.
Yes.
Which is
Yep.
really fantastic.
She's a matchmaker and a trainer.
Yeah.
Do
she's a
home
boss.
visits.
Yep, I do home visits to make sure the home is safe for
Oh.
my companions. So,
I
yeah.
see. Okay.
Yep.
That's why I see you involved in everything.
Yeah.
Right?
I actually started out as companion.
I
you
forgot
did.
that.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
started out as
Oh,
companion.
tell me about being a companion, Deb. What
Yes.
did you find?
Very enjoyable, because I went, just what she said, went to the client's house, and this person, she liked to read the newspaper. So she would read the newspaper. A lot of times she would read some of the articles that sparked her. She would read the articles to me. We did puzzles. We played Scrabble. We did go for neighborhood walks. All the things
Lovely.
that are described, I did. I started out in the companion program.
And those are things that are
forgot
like
about that. Yeah.
regular daily life, but
Yeah.
you want to not feel like you're aging and getting old, but you want to go out for a walk
Yeah.
and feel
Right.
like you're safe and doing okay with that.
Right.
So things like that. That's great.
Well,
Oh,
that's-
the other great part is that most of our companions are over 60.
Right, and they're looking for,
Relatable.
involvement too. They want to keep giving back. They don't want to just sit home either. A lot of them are retired, so it gives them, something to do and fulfilling to do during the day.
Yeah.
It's good for mother's hours too, though,
Yeah,
because
that's
I
true.
was a mother's hours, so I was able to help out during the day when my children, or my youngest, was still at home or still in elementary school. So mother's hours are good too for stay-at-home moms.
Exactly.
And are you looking for companions always, or
Oh,
do you
yes.
have a need
Always,
constantly?
'cause
Okay.
The more
Yeah.
companions I get, the more clients I can help.
So it's really just like a job application. They don't have to live in Chelmsford, or they don't
Nope.
have to have a...
No, I get companions in almost every town that touches Chelmsford.
Oh.
Yeah.
Clients as well?
Clients as well, yep.
Yeah, it's not
Is
just
it
NHL.
available for only people 60 and over?
Maybe
That's a good
depends on
question.
their requirements and
Depends,
their
yeah.
needs and medical needs, or
Right.
something like that.
I believe
perhaps.
they're
It's situational.
all my clients,
Yeah.
as of right now, are 60 and over.
I'm trying to think of that too. Like,
I know.
boy, what are our policies?
How many people
That would
do
be
you
huge.
provide
Bad question, Deb. You didn't know the answer.
companionship for through your
Right now, I have
program?
26 clients and I have 20 companions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell the story of the companion that came in the other day.
Which one?
She said how wonderful it was to be a companion and why. Do you remember?
I do, and
was-
and I just froze up.
So she came in and she said, out of all the jobs I've ever
Oh,
had in my
that's right.
life,
Yep.
want to say it?
Yeah, she said, this is the most fulfilling, the
Oh,
most,
yeah, I
I'm getting
can-
something out of it. I feel like I'm being recognized, I'm being heard. It's just because it's the way that the senior center, the way we treat our companions, they're just an extension of our senior center family. And I like the feedback from them. You know, if they feel like a client might need the next step of care, they let me know, or if they see something that they think the family should know, they let me know, and I talk to the family. So they feel like they're being heard, and they're getting fulfillment.
Wow.
From this,
That's
you know, this job.
Yeah.
They
making
and a
a
lot of them,
difference.
yeah, they become really good friends with their client and the family.
Say, I did this
Yep,
for myself.
Debbie did
They're an
too.
extended
Yeah.
part of that
Yeah.
family in a lot of ways.
Because you're taking care of their loved one. Well, for the family, you're taking care of their loved one at depending on what is the need is, but at a tough time.
Yeah.
And
Yes, it's stressful
That's
for the
right.
family.
you know, so and I was right up to the end with what, you know, so you really develop a relationship with client and family.
So do companions end up they're paid through the town?
They're paid as a vendor.
Oh,
So they're
a
a
contractor.
subcontractor.
Okay.
They're not an employee of the town. They pay
Okay.
their own taxes.
Yep.
So we pay them once a month
That's
for all the hours.
impressive program.
Our time is getting tighter than I
know,
thought.
we gotta
keep-
speed
I
ahead
told you,
here.
it keeps going so fast. So we do need to move on to our next subject.
Yes.
So we also brought in Debbie, because Debbie and April are co-facilitators for a program called Buried in Treasures. And it's a 15-week workshop.
Yes.
And I think you have 3 different groups going now, 3 or?
We have 2, which means that we do the Buried in Treasures workshop. We do that for 15 weeks. If people want to stay on with us, we go on, we take a couple of months off, and then we do a CBT, which is
Say what CBT is.
cognitive
Yes.
behavioral therapy
Yeah.
for cluttering or hoarding disorder. But it really touches all levels of, I hate that word, hoarding. It's more just declutter. You know, you can just have a couple of messy areas in your home up to full heavy content, meaning your house is kind of full. The Buried in Treasures workshop, we kind of, through the 15 weeks, we kind of start teaching skills and techniques of how to start addressing the items in your home, as well as to try to curb the acquiring, stop bringing
So it's a
stuff in.
once a week class, right?
Yep.
It's a
Yep.
workshop,
2 hours. once a
2
week,
hours long,
In person?
in person or Zoom. Do you do
Well,
some
the
Zoom?
the Buried in Treasures class, the first 15 weeks and the second 15 weeks are in person.
Yes.
And then they graduate, in a way, to this is where all the groups then get, once they've done the 2 15 weeks, they go into more like a support group, where, because it's ongoing support. You need ongoing support. You need to still talk about the skills and keep those skills fresh, and
Yep.
so that is via Zoom with a couple of meets. We do like to
Right.
do a couple of in-person meets during the the 15 weeks.
Right. Yep. It's
Now, on the screen, they were showing 2 books.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell a little bit about why we're having those 2 books here?
those, the BIT, which is Buried in Treasures, that's one of the most successful books out there. That's the 15-week program, and that's kind of the model that we go by. Debbie and I have made some changes a little bit to it. You know, we make it ourselves.
So it's
So
free
much
on it. I mean,
information.
not free,
Just
but
so
it's
much
on
info.
Amazon. Those books, right?
Right.
You can just
Yes.
buy them
Yes.
and read
Yep.
them.
You-
We found them to be great, right? I mean, they're
Yes.
step by step, tell you a little bit about little tests and testing yourself to see what your issues might be. Like, are you more about over cluttering,
Right.
over collecting, or are you
Emotional
really deorganized or
attachments.
emotional attachments?
things
Yeah, we
like that.
touch
Yeah.
upon that a little bit. Yeah, and it's a lot of, it's helps you with procrastination, decision making, which are huge. You know,
Yes, it's big.
people who have cluttering problems or actually have hoarding disorder, there are studies show that parts of the brain where decision making, lies, it's underdeveloped. So it's something you just have to work on. You have to keep on
Be
top of it.
mindful of and
Right.
be aware of it.
Right, as
and-
Debbie said, it's an
it's a
ongoing
process.
support. That's why we also, once they finish the 2 15 weeks, we offer the support group, which is also, we keep them working though. They don't, it's not just feelings.
Okay.
We give them homework.
Yeah.
But sometimes the support of the group and the group holding you accountable keeps you on top of things. And, I have the tendencies too. So I do any homework I give the group, I do it too, and it keeps me on track, and it keeps me, maintaining my house, where I'm very happy with my house right now.
Yeah.
But if I didn't keep with it, I could see it getting a little more cluttered.
And
Who's
as
your typical person, though, that goes to these groups?
It can be anybody.
Oh, anybody. There's
Any age, right,
Yeah, there's
really?
no.
Most people,
well,
people
ours in
notice
our-
it around their 50s,
Right,
because
yeah,
when the
they-
children
yeah.
leave the
they
house.
don't have
and-
to be elderly
Right.
to have.
Or when they notice that they have to start downsizing, that's when they
Yes.
said, oh, maybe we should get into a decluttering class. And that's what we focus, it's just more the decluttering.
Yeah.
It can help anybody all the way up to hoarding disorder, but decluttering seems, a lot of us, it starts to get away from us. And, especially when you're going down, you're trying to downsize, you need help cleaning out certain areas.
And I think both of these workshops, the topics we talked about, the important things you're doing really removes the stigma of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
That
important.
having a lot of cluttered
Right.
treasures and
Yeah.
possessions, we can all easily do that.
Yeah.
And it's not something to be embarrassed about, but
Right.
there's help. And, it's group work, it's workshops, it's individual work, and there are ways to address it.
Exactly.
To maybe make 2023 a year of, improvement and more
Right.
collaboration, that the town is here to help with those types
Getting
of
the
things
support they
too.
need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
That
always
you're not
surprised
alone
at
in it.
how many people, we always have a waiting list.
Yeah.
So
Oh, do you?
it's
Yeah.
out,
Okay.
I hope people don't feel embarrassed about it, because I have the tendencies, I know it too, so,
I think when we start each new group, because we've done now, I don't even remember how many groups we've done, and how
I
many.
think we're
combined.
into our 4th or 5th new group. We're
New
into our
group.
6th year
But
of
each
doing
one,
it.
they come in and everyone is very timid, and quiet and don't say too much.
Yeah.
But I think that they're just getting to realize, well, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And I need to. You have I think they have to gain the trust of
Yes.
the other members in that particular group, and then they start to, as the weeks go by, definitely become more willing to speak and
And I
share
think
their
the
thoughts.
word's getting out about your successful
And
program.
they've become a
right?
lot of them have become friends with each other,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And they're supporting each other,
Yeah.
trying
Yep.
to help go to
Right.
each other's houses
Yeah.
and help
Yes.
with the,
Yep, and the
decluttering
success
and
stories keep,
support.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
success stories and
Our
everyone.
before and after pictures are incredible.
I think
and
we
they just
had
cheer
one in
each
the
other on.
flyer, so we can
Yeah.
share those.
Yes.
Yeah.
The before and after from one of your groups, actually.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I think the person had the first time in many, many years had their family
Yes.
over for a holiday.
Since
And were able to
nice.
celebrate.
20 years
Oh,
before she had
wow.
anybody come over, and
Oh,
she was
my.
able to have Thanksgiving.
It's
in
so
our house. Yeah.
isolating to
It
have.
is.
That's huge. Isolation is a huge,
Yes, it
Right.
is.
huge another.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So,
And how much does this program cost? Here's the
It's-
kicker. Ready, everybody?
Just $10, $11 for the BIT book, and the senior center pays half. So the book is actually $22. The senior center, we pay half. And so the client, we just want them to have a little skin in the game, and they pay $11 for the book. The CBT book is, if they want to continue, they can buy on Amazon for themselves. We show them what book it is, and we continue on from there. But we don't charge for our time. We just charge for the workbook.
And the great thing is, April, you've started with Jen Melanson, you're co-chairing the
Yes.
Hoarding Disorder Resource Network.
Right.
So we're sharing our successes from Chelmsford with towns in the area, and
Yes.
we're having a monthly group. And we're trying to teach other towns in the area with our Board of Health and with our first responders and our partnership that we've been able to develop with community services, what is working for us, and try to get them to do it too, because you two can only do so much.
Right,
So
exactly.
we are looking for more people who are looking to be facilitators, and we can train you to be a facilitator.
Yes.
You're following a book and an instruction
Yes.
manual.
Right.
So if you're interested in maybe volunteering in some way for the community and helping,
Right.
then
Yes.
that's a great way of expanding
Yep.
this program beyond our
I like how you
abilities
slid
with
that
it.
in there. Yeah, that
Just
was
saying,
perfect.
little plug. So we have like 20 seconds left. Is
Yep.
there anything else you want to say about these groups before we end?
No, if you have any questions, if you'd like to either be a companion, or if you need companion services, or if you're interested in the BIT program, just give us a call at the Senior Center.
At 978-251-0533. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year, everybody.